It is hard to believe that we are already wrapping up another video training series. We've been looking at Empowered Connections, and this is the final video. And Empowered Connections really are about those people skills, which are so necessary in today's world. We might not be able to see people face to face, but even on a Zoom conference call, you have to be able to build rapport quickly. And understanding a little bit of social intelligence will help you. Again, I'm your instructor, Louise and Maurice. And I developed this training with your success in mind because you are a professional. And you're a professional who works with people. And it's not just working with people, and it's not just selling to people, but it is about connecting with them in a way that they want to continue to connect with you. They want to be your client. They want to work on your team, and they want to get to know you a little bit better. And this is where you have to be able to make that best first impression. And that's where impression management skills will help you. And in that last video, we talked about some of those stumbling blocks that will prevent you from making that best first impression. And that's where understanding social anxiety helps you. The symptoms of social anxiety, the signs. Social anxiety causes social media anxiety, which a lot of people tell me, I've got that. That's what's stopping me from building my business. And then social anxiety help. I gave you those social intelligence, the 5 solutions. Well, as we continue on with this video, we're going to look at 3 more solutions, solutions 6, 7, and 8. And in particular, C.B.T for social anxiety, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. Now, you might not be a therapist, and you shouldn't pretend to be a therapist if that's not your training, but understanding C.B.T and being able to use that to understand people is key. Are you ready? I know I'm excited to share some insight with you. Let's continue. Statistics on social anxiety reveal that 36% of people with the disorder report experiencing symptoms for 10 or more years before seeking help. Back in 2017, an estimated 7.1% of U.S. adults had social anxiety disorder in the past year. Prevalence of social anxiety disorder among adults was higher for females than for males. Of that percentage, 36%, it's estimated, have depression or bipolar disorder. Mental health is important. And in that last video, we understand how the genetics as well as the learned behavior, it gets in the central nervous system. It is hardwired in people. And when you are a coach or a consultant or a manager working with teams, you have to understand that sometimes when people aren't sharing, it's not because they don't know what they're doing. It's because they might not be comfortable in those social situations. And this is where having that insight will help you, because the treatment for social anxiety really has to be for the whole person. You see here this hierarchy. It's Maslow's hierarchy of needs, those physiological needs, making sure that, yes, mental health is important, and being able to rewire the central nervous system so that safety, love and belonging, esteem, and ultimately self-actualization can come to fruition in the people that you lead and manage and the ones that you coach and consult. This is where it's that added value in understanding how people are impacted more so now than ever before because they're not getting the full oxygen to their brain. So that also increases stress as well as anxiety within people. This becomes more important than ever before. And understanding how to use C.B.T for social anxiety, that cognitive behavioral therapy, even though you're not a mental health professional, although you might be, but it's that cognitive, emotional, behavioral, and psychological insight. Because if we start with cognitive, it really is the thoughts, the beliefs, the attitudes. And impression management, when you can guide people to manage that first impression that they're making by understanding, this thought, when I'm in a situation where I'm feeling a little bit anxious, it's that default thought that always comes in. I'm not that person, but that's what happens. And this is where, with our social intelligence solution number 6, it's about active listening skills. Again, on the PDF document that I have available for you in the free resources area at louiseandmaurice.com, you can download it. We'll have the links to the video as well as the questions and insight. Because social anxiety cure, we have to look at the person holistically. We have to have that balance, the symmetry, the stability, the harmony, and having them connect with their own emotional intelligence. Because everyone will be unique, especially if they struggle with social anxiety. The cure has to be holistic. It has to be unique to them. Because some people will experience sadness or fear or anger when it comes to dealing with those anxious moments, whereas other people might be the opposite and express too much joy. It's all in how they've been hardwired. And this is where, with social intelligence solution number 7, you guide them to look for the clues within their body to rewire their central nervous system with the 5 senses relaxation technique. And again, I will have that link on the PDF document, because just for the clues, when you yourself, if you struggle with this, or if you're working with people, when they're anxious. The more that you work with them, the more that you deal with them, you will find those clues. And when you can guide them to manage the impression that they're making by making those subtle shifts and changes, that's when you truly will be that influence for them that can make that difference. Because cognitive behavioral therapy, when we look at the thoughts, that's what triggers then the behavior. The feelings become impacted as well as their actions. And they might be acting in ways that are completely not who they are in moments when they are comfortable, as opposed to moments when they're uncomfortable. And this is where, with solution number 8, that social intelligence solution number 8, it's about helping them find a new normal. And yes, that's a word that we have become familiar with after COVID-19. I'm saying after, with the hopes that we are beyond this. But there are some things that just have become that new normal. And more people now than ever before are experiencing social anxiety in ways that they have never experienced before. So it's about helping them to connect and helping them to develop new responses to this, because as we look here, it is about being responsive and not reactive. Intuitive is about trusting themselves. Flexible and functional, working with what they have. Remember to visit louiseandmaurice.com, because regardless of your current impression, you get to choose who you want to be, and you get to make those subtle adjustments. And I have all of that mapped out for you. I have loved our Empowered Connections series, but we are finished. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel so that you do not miss the next series that I've developed with your success in mind.